The late afternoon sun slanted through dusty blinds, painting long gold bars across the cluttered desk. Marcus leaned back in the creaking office chair, staring at the final rejection email on his screen. The words blurred. "We've decided to move forward with another candidate." His fingers hovered over the keyboard, then fell limp. At 52, after 23 years at the same company, the layoff notice had come quietly, no fanfare, no warning. Now the office felt too big, too empty, the hum of the air conditioner the only sound left. He could have logged off, packed his few personal items, walked out with the dignity he still had left. Instead, he stayed scrolling aimlessly through old project files, as if rereading his own work could somehow rewrite the ending. Footsteps echoed in the hallway, slow, deliberate. A woman appeared in the doorway, mid-40s, carrying a cardboard box half filled with books and framed photos. She paused when she saw him still there, then set the box down gently on the floor. Her name tag read Elena Facilities. She wore a navy polo, hair pulled back in a practical knot, eyes carrying the calm of someone who had seen many goodbyes. Marcus offered a small, tired nod. She returned it, then moved to the empty desk across the aisle, another one being cleared today. She began sorting quietly, stacking files, wiping dust from shelves. No words passed between them. He watched her for a moment, then turned back to his screen. But the silence between their desks felt heavier than the usual office quiet. She glanced over once, saw the open email still glowing on his monitor. Without comment, she reached into her box, pulled out a small potted succulent, green, resilient, in a simple clay pot and placed it on the corner of his desk. Not directly in front of him, just there, as if it had always belonged. Marcus stared at the plant. He hadn't asked for it. Hadn't even looked like he needed anything. Yet here it sat, a small green thing in the middle of everything ending. He could have ignored it, left it behind when he walked out. For a beat then, Zernia. Pride stirred. He'd always handled his own messes, never leaned on anyone. Accepting this felt like admitting defeat. His hand hesitated above the pot, fingers curling back once, twice. Then, slowly, he slid it closer, turning it so the light caught the leaves. Elena continued working, never once glancing over for acknowledgement. When she finished, she picked up her box, paused at his doorway, and spoke for the first time soft, almost to herself, tougher than they look. Then she left, footsteps fading down the corridor. Marcus sat with the succulent for a long time after the building emptied. The sun dipped lower, turning the gold bars to amber. He finally stood, gathered his things, and carried the plant out with him, careful not to jostle it. That evening, in his small rented apartment, he set the pot on the kitchen windowsill where sunlight would reach it every morning. He watered it once, then again the next day. The simple act of caring for something living felt strangely grounding. Weeks passed. Job searches continued, endless applications, polite rejections. But each morning, Marcus checked the succulent first. New leaves unfurled, stubborn and green. He started a small notebook, jotting down ideas for freelance consulting, sketches of projects he'd never had time for before. Plant became a quiet witness to those first tentative steps. One afternoon, walking through the park near his building, he saw an older man sitting on a bench, staring at a bare patch of soil where flowers used to grow. The man's hands rested empty in his lap. Marcus paused, then reached into his bag where he now carried a small cutting he'd taken from his succulent. Without fanfare, he knelt, pressed the cutting into the soft earth, and patted it down gently. The man looked up, surprise softening into something warmer. Marcus stood, brushed dirt from his hands, and walked on. Months turned into seasons. Marcus landed freelance work, small contracts at first, then steadier ones. He moved to a brighter apartment with a wide windowsill. The original succulent thrived, joined by others he propagated from cuttings. His desk now held a small collection of them, each one a reminder that growth could happen even after being uprooted. One crisp autumn day, he returned to his old office building to pick up a final paycheck. The lobby felt smaller, less intimidating. In the hallway, he passed Elena pushing a cart of supplies. She stopped when she saw him, recognition flickering. He reached into his bag, pulled out a small clay pot, another cutting from the original plant, and set it on her cart. No words, just the same quiet placement she'd once used. Elena looked at the pot, then at him. A faint smile curved her lips, the first he'd seen. She nodded once, tucked the pot carefully beside her supplies, and continued down the hall. Marcus walked out into the late afternoon light, hands empty but lighter. Years later, on a quiet evening, he sat at his desk overlooking a small balcony garden. Succulents lined every surface, some from that first pot, some from cuttings shared and returned over time. The city hummed below, but inside, the room felt full in a way it never had before. He watered the original plant last, watching water bead on its leaves. It had grown tall, roots strong, still reaching for light. In the end, as the sun slipped below the skyline, Marcus paused, fingers resting on the clay pot. Help doesn't always arrive when you search for it. Sometimes it simply appears small, green, and stubborn and stays long enough to remind you that you can grow again. If this quiet story of unexpected growth touched a place in you that's been feeling a little uprooted, subscribe for more tales that remind us kindness often arrives exactly when we stop searching for it. Has help ever found you when you weren't asking for it? Share your moment below. I read everyone and they always move me. And if that small green plant still lingers in your mind, let the door he held open longer than necessary open something new for you next.